بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأراضين عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف وجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره. First, I like to congratulate you the birth of Imam Mahdi Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif, which is happening very soon, and in the whole month of Sha'ban we have a special atmosphere of remembering Imam Mahdi Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif, and of course we have also other birthday anniversaries. So it's a very great month with lots of opportunities to connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to his awliya, to his friends and to his chosen servants. The topic which has been suggested for today is what the youths should do for preparation for coming of Imam Mahdi Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif. And I think they asked me to talk because I am also young, at least in my heart, inshallah. So inshallah, as a young person, I am talking to you. It's very interesting that there is something between Imam Mahdi Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif and youths which is special. When we read the hadith, it says that great majority of helpers of Imam Mahdi are young people. There would be some older people, maybe middle-aged and old, but it's like salt in food. So if you make food, the majority of food is rice, meat, other things, vegetables. There is little salt. So majority of the helpers of Imam Mahdi Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif are young people, but of course those old people are there to give their wise ideas, to support, to help. But because this mission needs, perhaps, this is my understanding, needs lots of activities, lots of work, and also needs, to be fresh and to be dynamic and vibrant, and maybe also to relate to the other youths of the world. So most of the helpers of Imam Mahdi Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif would be young people. Even Imam himself, when people see him, he looks young, but young here can mean some 30 years old, because up to 40 is like young. So maybe Imam looks someone who is some 30 years old. So this is the starting point for our reflection. So it shows that the youths must not think they have a marginal role. The youth must know that they have a very central role in preparing, and then when Imam comes, in helping Imam alayhi salam. I share with you some of the things that we need to work on in order to be able to qualify ourselves for being, inshallah, among helpers of Imam alayhi salam before and after he comes. The very first thing that I am sure everyone would appreciate is that if we want to help Imam alayhi salam, we should ourselves be strong. Yeah. If I want to do something, for example, if I want to build a house, if I want to build a hospital, if I want, I don't know, to educate people, and you want to help me, so at least I should be hoping that you give me a hand, you give me some power, you give me something. Not that you yourself are in need of, someone to awaken you, for example, someone to make you stand on your feet. So when it comes to helping Imam Mahdi, I should try to be myself someone who is strong. I don't mean physically strong. I mean someone who in his willpower, in iman, in determination, in taqwa, is able to have the basic requirements at least. I'm not saying that you have to be arif, you have to be mystic, you have to be, for example, a great, wayfarer, but at least to be muttaqi, especially not to do zulm, because doing zulm to any person, starting with yourself, with family, neighbors, strangers, even enemies. If we do zulm, we would not be in a position to give our hand to Imam alayhi salam. No one who is zalim, who is unjust, can help Imam in universal mission for establishing justice. So I need to strengthen myself in my taqwa, in doing my wajibat, in avoiding haram, and in particular, I would like to request you to work on justice. And for me, what comes very, very close to the justice, to the center of justice, which is not exactly justice, but it's very close to the center of justice, is fairness. Ensof. Ensof is very important. It's one of those qualities that if someone has, you just want to be with them. Fairness, Ensof. Alhamdulillah, a few years ago in the House of England, we had Akhlaq series and we talked about Ensof. Maybe, I don't remember, 2-3 sessions. We talked about Ensof and what is the difference between Ensof and justice. Also in, I think, followership series, we talked about Ensof. What is Ensof? If you get from this talk tonight just this point, it's enough. Although it's better to get everything, but even if you take this point, if you say, Sheikh, I can only take after each time 1 point. Okay, take this point. Ensof. What is Ensof? Ensof comes from nisf. Nisf means half. What does it mean? I can put it in this way. When there is something between me and another person, another party, maybe one individual, maybe one family, maybe one group, maybe a company, I don't know, another party. There is something between me and them. There is my right, there is their right, so is a case here. Insaf means not to try to bring their rights to your side by being biased, by being selfish. Insaf means to stand half the way between yourself and the other party. Be impartial, be not biased, and look in an objective way what is your right, what is their right. Maybe they are good people or bad people. Maybe they can present their case, maybe they cannot present their case. If you are munsif, it doesn't make difference for you. It's impossible that you take even the least of their right to your side. Yes, you can forgive some of your right, if you like, because you're right, you can forgive, but you cannot take from their right. A fair person, a just person, can be forgiving, can be generous with his own part, but not taking from the other party. Zulm. In other words, a fair person is the one that, if he's going to be judged between himself or another person, must not take his own side. It's very difficult. You know, if you have a case with someone and you go to the court and you see the judge is friend of that person, you don't trust this court. You say, I don't accept, because this judge is friend of this person, is cousin of this person. Let alone if the same person is judge as well. So he is judge and the case is between you and the judge in the same court. No one would accept. But if we know that person is fair, it means that we can trust him to be judge between us and himself or herself. And this is what me and you have to achieve in our life. Every day, many times, we judge between us and other people. Many times, every day, we judge. So we organize the court, we take the role of the judge, but between whom and whom? Between myself and someone else. And it is surprising or not surprising that most of the time we are winning. Other people are doing wrong things, are doing mistakes. I don't know why people don't appreciate me, why people have problem with me. All the things are in my favor. Yes, because you have prepared the file and you have judged, so you are taking your side. If you want to help Imam Mahdi Ajjalallah Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif, and indeed to help yourself, you have to be equipped with justice and try to start with fairness. Between you and your siblings, be fair. Between you and your parents, be fair. Suppose you were in their position. Are you able to see their challenges? Are you able to see their side of the story? Or you can only see your part? You can only think about your interest. How many times I can give rights to other people? Very unfortunately, it's not very common. Ensof is very important. If there are people who are munsif, I am sure they are very much loved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Mu'mineen who are munsif are very, very valuable. You cannot put actually value for them if they are munsif. So, the first thing is to strengthen ourselves with taqwa, with willpower, and especially equip yourself with ensof. Someone who is munsif is not going to do zulm to anyone. And then ma'rifah. Ma'rifah of Allah and ma'rifah of hujjah of Allah and ma'rifah of community. In lectures on wilayah, social wilayah, we have explained that ma'rifatul imam cannot be separate from ma'rifatul ummah. Ma'rifah of imam and ma'rifah of his people cannot be separated. We should remember imam, we should remember his people. in Du'a Ahd, we say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, please send my salutations to Imam, and then we say not just on my behalf, or not just on behalf of my parents and myself, on behalf of all mu'mineen and mu'minat fi mashariq al-ard wa magharibiha, sahlaha wa jabalaha, barraha wa bahraha. All believers in the east, in the west, those who live in overseas, in islands, etc. All of them, we have to remember them every day. Yesterday someone shared with me a video clip, short clip of Ayatollah Bahjat, rahmatullah alayh. This is in Farsi. I can share with you, and maybe someone also can, add some subtitles. He talks about, what to do if you have some hajat. Someone apparently was ill, and he suggested few things, and then he also said, I pray every day for people, even those who are in China. I pray for them. And he says, if we don't do this, this is sign of weakness of Iman. It was very interesting. You don't expect that, someone who is in Qom and deep in his spirituality may be praying every day for people everywhere in the world. But he not only is praying like this, he says this is a requirement of Iman. So we need to know Imam, we need to know community of Imam and humanity, because it's Imam for Nas. Yes, the Shia, the believers, have a special relation, but he is Imam not for Shia only. He is for Nas. Allah said to Ibrahim alayhi salam, Inni ja'iluka lil-nas imama, not ja'iluka lil-mu'minina imama. Also, in Dua Nutbah, for example, we say, Atarana nahuffu bik wa anta ta'ummul mala. We would, inshallah, get around him to help him, to support him, but his imama, his leadership is for mala, for masses of people. So we need to know Imam, we need to know people of Imam and general situation of humanity, but with wisdom, not to be too optimistic, not to be too pessimistic. Some people are so pessimistic that they cannot do anything, and they look at everything as negative. There are lots of positive points, lots of also difficulties. But overall, we should be more hopeful than hopeless. We should be more optimistic than pessimistic. As a young person, try to be always hopeful and optimistic and positive. See the problems, but don't let the problems blind you. The problems always come on the surface. Yeah? Like the bubbles. They come on the surface and catch our sight, but you need to take your time and see there are lots of other things there. Lots of beautiful things out there. So, strengthen ourselves with taqwa, with willpower, with fairness, with ma'rifah, with love for Imam, mahabbah. Alhamdulillah, you sisters, women, girls, in this can be very easily successful, because Allah has given you a heart which is very prepared, is very soft, and can easily connect to beauties. If you know Imam Mahdi Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif the same amount that I know, maybe you can love him more than me, because you have more responsive heart for loving, for appreciation. So this is why Allah has given women the role of being mother. Motherly love is different from fatherly love. Fatherly love is very important, but motherly love is different. Motherly love has almost irresistible power. How many people you have seen that they are against their mothers? How many people you have seen are against their fathers? I think there are more people who are against sometimes their father. They rebel against their father. But not many people can resist against their mother, because it seems every person is almost sure that their mother loves them without any selfishness. Some people don't think their father, maybe father doesn't have any selfishness, but it's very difficult for them to realize. But when it comes to mother, almost everyone is sure that my mother first thinks about me than herself. There is something in women that Allah has chosen them to be providing children with part of His own rahmah. And rahim of mother, the womb of mother, is not called rahim accidentally. Maybe that is where you are embraced by rahmah of mother, which is rahmah of Allah, of course, the manifestation of rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then inshallah, when you come to this world, then you are in rahim of this world. For a moment, the whole world is a place that you receive rahmah of Allah, because rahmati wasa'at kulla shay. In any case, women have great chance of developing emotional, devotional connection with Imam Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajah, and with Awliyaullah, with Lady Fatima Salamullah alayha, Lady Zainab, Lady Ma'suma, men and women. This is not just emotion, it's emotion and devotion. Emotion, sometimes it's without direction, you are overwhelmed, but where is it? Devotion is always comes with direction. What we need to have towards Imam Mahdi is not just emotion, we need to have devotion. Devotion is with discipleship. Devotion is with decision to move and get closer, to rise. So you have this opportunity, and inshallah utilize this opportunity. So ma'rifah and mahabbah, and something that comes with this mahabbah, and I think that's my last point, I don't want to speak too long, is mahabbah for other people. Our love for Allah leads to our love for wali of Allah, and then leads to love for all people, especially mu'mineen. Al-hubbu fillah wal-bughdu fillah. In several lectures, for example, in the Shrine of Lady Ma'suma, we had 2 sessions on Al-hubbu fillah wal-bughdu fillah. In a series on social wilaya and followership, we have talked about this. If I am a good believer, I must love others. Start with your friends, with your siblings, with your, cousins. You should be able to love them for the sake of Allah. What Imam Mahdi Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif needs is not many individuals who are immersed in their own shells. We don't need too many shells. We don't need too many individualistic minds. We need united people. We need network of believers. If we can have one network, one network. If we can not have one network, different networks, but at least each network has united people, and then they can connect to each other. Either an ocean or lakes, not drops. Drops cannot do anything. We need lakes or oceans. We need united people. We need ummatan wahid. If we are ourselves not united, how can we help Imam to unite humanity? If still with someone I cannot do few projects with love and unity, how can then I help Imam? We need to learn how to work together, how to prioritize others' comfort, convenience, and sometimes opinion. If you are not sure, another person, your friend is sure, say, okay, we do as you say. If you are sure that is wrong and it's going to lead to problem, then with unity try to find the middle way position. Otherwise, forget this project. 99% of our projects are not that valuable that we sacrifice our unity for them. 99% of our projects are not that important that we sacrifice our unity. When Harun ala nabiyina wa alayhi salam, Prophet Harun, brother of Prophet Musa, when he saw that Samiri is misguiding people and some people started worshipping this calf, he didn't take a strong action and waited for Musa to come, because he was worried that Musa alayhi salam may go back and say, why did you divide Bani Israel? إني خشيت أن تقول فرقت بين بني إسرائيل ولم ترقب قولي. I was worried that you may return and say, why did you divide Bani Israel and you don't wait for me? So even with the case of reacting to shirk, if the cost is dividing people, Harun waits till Musa comes back and he makes the decision, because such a big thing, division. It's not that we should be silent when someone starts, such heretical thing, but it means that we should not make decision by ourselves. This is to be made by the main leader. In any case, your projects are very important, but they should not be sacrificing your unity. And if you do projects, even a small project with unity, that's great. So any project dividing you, no. Any project that you do with unity and love and mutual trust, it's great. Even if your project is just to meet each other for the sake of unity, for the sake of Allah, that's great. What is your project this week? Few of us get together and have a cup of tea or coffee together. That's great project, because bringing you together closer. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help me, guide me, and also help you and guide you to the things that would be pleasing to Him. And in a special way, we request Him to help us and guide us to understand what we can do to help our Imam of time, so that first of all, we would not be a source of concern or na'udhu billah, shame for him, and secondly, we would be a source of hope and joy and honor for him. This is our dua, this is our haja, that we take humbly to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Allahumma salli.
Thank you, Sheikh,
Ya
for taking the time for these questions come up. I'd like to just summarize a few points that you mentioned that we have to be strong for our Imam. We have to have this equity of justice and most importantly fairness if we want to work in it. And then we can't forget about Ma'rifah, about our Imam, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then the love, have love for our Imam and the people also, for the sake of Allah and the Nabi. So I'll let Sister Yasmin for the Q&A, inshallah. You can go ahead.
Assalamu
Alaikum
alaikum. So
assalam.
if anyone has any questions, you guys can write them in the chat, or just send them, or just say them and unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, I can ask a question if that's okay, Sheikh.
Yes.
So Sheikh Shomali, we are kind of youth and we are either approaching university or thinking about university and kind of thinking about our career aspirations and what we should really be doing with our lives. But like, how can we make that best decision so that we make sure that we are ready and we have the skills and the talents to help the Imam? So really, what should, like right now I'm in university, I'm in second year, like what should I really be doing with my life to make sure that I'm ready to go when the Imam comes and I'm ready to help him out and I can really help him out in his mission?
Right. Very good question. For sure, what everyone is expected to do is to be able to have, first of all, honorable life. So your honor is very important. Honor of your family is very important. Therefore, every person should try to equip themselves with knowledge, experiences, skills, networking, whatever that can make you an honorable member of society and community. So one point to consider is honor. In every field you go, try to be the best, if possible. The best that you can be. If you go to any field, if you want to be medicine, I don't know, accounting, business, nursing, housewife, whatever you want to be, try to be the best that you can be and bring respect of people and honor of people to yourself. This would make Imam very happy. Your honor is with the honor of other people, making the honor of community of Imam. So your success is very important. This is one point. The second point is see how you can be more useful. So honor aligned with being beneficial, being mubarak. There is a hadith which says when Isa said, Ja'alani mubarakan aynama kunt, Imam alayhi salam says, ay nafa'an, very beneficial. You have to be very beneficial. Where you can be more beneficial for the community and then humanity. Not where you can make just more money. Maybe there is something that can give me more money, but there is no honor. Or there is, for example, maybe honor, but not beneficiality. For example, there are some, I don't want to mention, but some types of research that some people do, they call them, oh, he's researcher, he is, I don't know, a faculty. But what's the benefit of this research? Yeah? Is it a priority or not? So, honor, being beneficial, and the third thing that if you can do, something that can prepare people for moving towards the ideal society. So among things which gives you honor, decent income, makes you beneficial, anything that has ability to change people and make people better, it has priority. For example, when you can do some educational work, if everything is equal, I'm not saying everyone should become a teacher or a scholar or a writer or a journalist, but I'm saying this is one factor, because in these areas, in these fields, you can prepare mind of people, or at least protect them from attacks. So among things that you choose things that instead of working with few objects, you work with people's mind and heart, because these are the jobs which have priority. Yeah, so you have to consider all these things, and then finally, after you have made all these calculations, then see when we have lack and gap. Maybe you make all these calculations, say, Alhamdulillah, now we have many people who are doing this, but there is an area that not many people are doing this, so you prioritize that based on the need that we have in the community.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. May Allah bless you. So which point every person, or points, maybe you can say one point that you are going, inshallah, to take away.
Anything being beneficial, not only thinking about our own wealth or our own success, thinking of others and others' needs.
Yes. Thank you.
To be just in every situation, and as you said, the Ensof, to use it in
Very good.
each every day.
Very good. Yes.
To be fair.
Very good.
Yeah, and I really like the point about being just to people even that you don't disagree with, that you even don't agree with. So just really giving everybody their rights, and even if you kind of like, oh, why did they do that? Why are they like that? Nothing like that. You should really be the same kindness you would have for yourself and have for your family. You should really be using that same kindness for everybody really in the world.
Yes, very good. Actually, it is mentioned in hadith that Insaf is to expect from people what you want for yourself, and to give people what you want for yourself. Yes.
I would have a quick question.
Yes.
What are the qualities that we should install in ourselves so that the Imam can notice us?
I think the same thing we discussed about under the general title of strengths. We said taqwa, willpower, ma'rifa, mahabba, fairness. All this is what would make us dearer to Imam alayhi salam. And every person who is moving to this direction also would have prayer of Imam, would have pleasure of Imam. So we are not left to ourselves.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ahsantum.
I had another question, if that's okay, Sheikh.
Yes.
So I know you talked a lot about unity and how it's important to have unity in the Ummah and also unity in the greater kind of global community.
Yes.
But I feel like a lot of that decision-making power is within like the older generation, like in my parents' generation. So if you see disunity in the mosque, it's like it's not really a youth problem. I feel like that decision-making power lies in kind of people that are older than us. Or if we see disunity in the community, it seems like a problem that is not something that we can do anything about. So what is it that we can do as youth to to have that unity in our mosque and to have that unity in our Muslim ummah? Like, what can we do? Like, we don't have much money. Like, we don't have the money power. We don't have the authority power. So what can we do as youth?
Yeah. Actually, you are in a better position to start unity because now there is nothing to fight over it. Yeah. So now you are more detached from things that can be obstacles. And if from now you start your work for unity and you get closer to each other and try to understand also elders, yeah, so unite yourself and try to bridge with the elders, then inshallah next generation we would have better situation. So this is our hope, that inshallah when we have people from, like for example you, some of you are from different ethnicities, different background, but because of your iman you have come together. Inshallah through you, then people who are back in their countries, other people, maybe they all can get connected to each other. We have in the hadith that Amir al-Mu'minin says about companions of Imam Mahdi that كَأَنَّمَا رَبَّاهُمْ أَبٌ وَاحِدٌ وَأُمٌّ وَاحِدَةٌ. They are so close that you think they are brought up by the same father and mother. So someone from Pakistan, someone from India, someone from Philippines, someone from China, someone from Canada, someone from US, someone from Lebanon, someone from Bahrain. When they behave, when they speak, when they argue, you should feel that they are brought up by the same father and mother. This is now happening in people like you, but inshallah when you establish this, then it should become a universal.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. May Allah bless you, inshallah.
Sister Masuma has a question, which is, what tool can we use to measure our ma'rifah to the Imam and our Iman to Allah is growing?
Okay. I think this question is good and can be the last question. So it's very important that sometimes we need to measure. We need to make sure that have we got enough or not. So what tool we can use to measure our ma'rifah to Imam and to see our Iman is growing? I think one very important tool is to see how much in your heart you are able to accommodate others. Are you able to accommodate your family only? Other families in the community only? For example, all the Lebanese, for example, all the Iranians, all the Pakistanis, all the Indians, all the Khojas, or all mu'mineen and mu'minat all over the world, or all humanity, not in its same way, not in an equal way. Of course, you have more concern with your own immediate, relatives, etc. I'm not saying for us mu'mineen and humanity are the same, but I'm saying a person who is a true lover of Allah and Hujjah of Allah should have concern for all humanity, even for animals, for plants, for the whole creation. So one tool is at least to see how much you are united among yourselves, how much you love each other. If you see your sister, sister in faith, has problem, are you restless? Are you praying for her? Are you trying to help her? Or you don't bother? Or na'uzu billah, sometimes you create problem for each other. So my love for Allah and Imam is not just how much I love them only, how much I love for the sake of them. حب في الله سلم لمن سالمكم. Not just سلم لكم. So, if you love each other, if you have concern for each other, you pray for each other, this is a great sign that you are progressing, inshallah. Sometimes, for example, you go to ziyarah. Sometimes people, for example, if they go to Karbala, they think how much I love Imam Hussein alayhi salam. How much Imam Hussein loves me. Yeah, this is a good question that you should ask. How much I love him, how much he loves me. My understanding is, if you want to see how much you love him and how much he loves you, see how much you love people who are there. If people who are there, you love them, it means that Imam loves you and you love Imam. If people who are there, they don't bother, you don't bother about them, they don't matter, you have problem. If na'uzu billah, you consider them as troublers, you wish none of them was there, this means you are very selfish. These people are lovers of Imam, have come from all over the world. I should love them, I should be very happy, even if we don't know each other. So the way you feel towards them is a sign of the way your Imam feels about you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. May Allah bless you, inshallah. Please remember me, your du'as. I very much need your du'as. Iltimasa du'a, please.
Thank you so much, Sheikh Shomali.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ya amanallah.